Let's start writing our label calculation with the case statement we just learned about. We'll go ahead and get rid of all this stuff, and we'll start off with case, open parentheses. Now this is going to contain quite a bit more than our example we just showed you, so I'm going to hit a couple of returns. They don't affect how the case statement actually functions, it just makes it easier to read. So we can easily see with the two returns where the test is. The test is going to be using a function called isEmpty. You'll see it down here. You use this one quite a bit. We need to check to see whether a certain field in the shipping is empty. Now we could check a bunch of fields. We could do the last name field, the address one field, the city field. We have to check one of these. We could check multiple, but I think one will be good enough. So we'll say isEmpty, open parentheses, and we'll decide to look at address one shipping. If that's empty, then we're going to go ahead and use the billing information. So you see how we have case, open paren, couple returns, isEmpty, and if this is true, there's a semicolon telling me we're going to be looking at the result. Then we're going to do this. We're going to put in all of the billing information. So let's go ahead and find what we want in there. We're probably going to want name first. Double click on that. Concatenate that with a space. And then concatenate that with name last. And then we're going to do something special here. We're going to type in quote and a Pilcrow character. Now you can do that with an option 7 on the Macintosh. On Windows it's quite a bit more complicated, and I don't know the keyboard command, but you can look it up if you want. But it's easier on Windows really just to come up here and click that button right there. But if you're on the Macintosh, option 7 I find is easier. Now you don't have to have quotes around a single Pilcrow character. You can just put in Pilcrow, but I find it easier to understand by putting those quotes around because it really is static text. Now, if you put two Pilcrow characters in a row, you do have to have quotes around it. Now, we're going to be using this quite a bit, so we're going to copy this to the clipboard. And if you're on Windows, you're going to have to use a keyboard command for that. And then we'll hit return, and our next field will be company. Double click on it, paste from the keyboard, hit return. Notice how I'm doing single returns between this. I don't have to do that. I could do it all in one straight line, but it just makes it easier for me to read if there's a little one return here. Two returns between parameters, one return between more complicated concatenations. It's up to you. You can come up with your own technique, your own approach for organizing how these calculations look. It's up to you. We'll go to address 1 next, paste, return, address 2, paste, return, city, and then we'll do ampersand, quote, comma, space, quote, ampersand. Then we need to find the state. There we go. Double click on it. Then concatenate on a quote, space, quote there, and then ampersand postal code. Then we're going to go ahead and end that. That's the last thing we want in there. So we put a semicolon. That ends the case result. There's the test. Here's the entire result, semicolon. Now, if it happens to be that that information is filled in, and I'm referring to the address 1 here, then we're going to go ahead and, to make it easier, we're going to result in the shipping information, I'm going to copy and paste here. So we'll copy, come down here and paste with the keyboard command, and all I have to do is put an underscore S after this. So select that right there, copy to the clipboard, and then just paste. Here's where naming conventions can really help you out. You see how much faster this is to do rather than do that whole first part again with different fields. Then we're going to hit a couple returns and close paren. That's closing the case statement. And we're all ready to go. That's a complete formula. Now what you want to do is click OK to make sure it accepts it. And it does accept it. That doesn't mean it's going to work right, but it is accepting it. It put everything in proper case, and it does see this as proper code. Whether it actually does what we want or not, we'll see in the next section.